This is Michael Fazio, Sunday morning. This is Hurricane Isaac behind me, ladies and gentlemen. And today's rant, and this is going to be a fucking rant, I kind of guarantee you. Today's fucking rant is dedicated to the Zionist, zoo, cock-sucking, mogul, media, motherfucking scumbag cocksuckers who have since Thursday predicted that Hurricane Isaac was going to hit on Wednesday. Excuse me, last Wednesday they said Wednesday. On Thursday they said Wednesday. On Friday they said Sunday. All of a sudden it moves 400, 500 miles. All by itself. Boom, it just moved overnight. If that's what happens, it means that the tracking of the storm, not the circular motion, the tracking sped up 4 times. When any fucking newscaster knows that if the tracking speeds up 4 times, the reduction in the wind speed is usually from a 1/3 to a half. These are scumbags get to pay $100,000 fucking dollars to lie to you. These are Zionists, the zoo, scumbag, media, mogul, motherfucking pieces of shit. But that's not the rant that I'm still moving on to the rant. What they did is they made on Thursday a report that said mandatory evacuation of tourists from the Florida Keys. That means, and Broward County, and Miami, and Tampa, all the way up the coast. That means millions of hotel rooms and vacation rentals had to be evacuated. So the tourist week for the end of summer big tourist bash, usually for 2 or 3 weeks, people are coming down, partying, hanging out with their friends, so on and so forth. The tourist industry has been decimated. No rooms can be rented to tourists. Anybody that was here had to leave. So the fishing industry, zilch. Thank you, Zionist zoo scumbags. The food industry, zilch. Thank you, Zionist zoo scumbags. The hotel industry, zilch. Thank you, Zionist zoo scumbags. And gas stations, zilch. Thank you, Zionist zoo scumbags. Bait shops, thank you, Zionist zoo scumbags, zilch. Anything that has to do with people coming to anywhere in Florida now is zilch. Thank you, Zionist zoo scumbag cocksuckers. Now, that means that anybody that would be getting hired to do any grounds work or, you know, miscellaneous stuff, not needed stuff, but incidentals, doesn't get paid because they don't get hired. But we didn't have a storm. So that means that these Zionist zoo scumbag Meagle Modius, this is the sign of the Satan, because that's what these are, scumbags are. They're fucking Satan motherfuckers. They don't give a flying fuck about the tourist industry, the people that depend on the tourist industry, the fishing industry. They have completely fucked it up. And what did they do this for? So that on the side of their motherfucking internet sites, they can put commercials on it, and on their fucking television website, they can put commercials on it. So now it rains a little bit. I'm going to go downstairs and work and finish cutting trimming the tree and blowing off the property. Because now's a nice time. I like this kind of weather. But these scumbags, they destroyed millions and millions and millions of people's vacations for this. This is supposed to be at 11:30 in the morning on Sunday. This is supposed to be 75-mile-an-hour winds. Tropical storm to Category 1. That's what they said yesterday at 12 o'clock. Today, you saw in the beginning of this video, it was beautiful. It's been like that since 7 o'clock, on and off drizzle. These fucking Zionist scumbags do not care about you. They only care about the motherfucking advertisement that they put on the fucking sidebars and in between their bullshit speeches. If the fucking weathermen got paid for what they did in accuracy, the motherfuckers would never become a weatherman, because you can't predict the fucking weather. Now, they did this 4 times in 2006, 2007, and we never had a hurricane. Never had a hurricane. Never. We had them in 2005. 6 and 7, 4 hurricanes, evacuated the Keys, evacuated South Florida 4 times, nothing. Same thing like they did today. And in 2006, 2007, they destroyed the Keys economy. This is a tourist town. They fucking destroyed it. Did they say they were sorry? Not one of those Zionist Jew scumbag motherfucking lowlife cocksuckers said they were sorry. Not even fucking one of them. Because they don't give a fuck about you, just like the government doesn't give a fuck about you. But that's another speech altogether. They don't fucking care about you. Didn't happen? You think one of them motherfuckers will get on the radio and say, geez, I'm really sorry. I fucking made you move out of the Keys because you had children, babies maybe, and you had to travel 400 miles in one direction, 400 miles back. You spent $150 a night for a hotel room for 3 days. The storm didn't come. You came back. You spent $2,000 for nothing. Do you think they would say they're sorry? That happened to 1 million people, I guarantee it. These motherfucking Zionist fucking media mogul scumbag cocksuckers. They don't care about nobody, these motherfuckers. Now I'm going to go downstairs and trim some trees. But I'm going to shut this off because I got to get a glass of water. My lemon water. No sense beating around the bush with lemon water. That shit got to go down. Now, anybody that's worried, a few people called up and said, Mike, be careful, Bono's Entertainment, Black Ops, Secret Black Ops, a couple other fellas, J1, they all said, be careful, Mike. What is there to worry about? What is there to worry about? You either live or you die. If you live, things can either get better or things can either get worse. If things get better, you haven't to not to worry about anything. If things get the worse, the only two things that kind of happen. Either you kind of get the sick and die, or you kind of get the better. If you get the better, no problem. But if you get the sick and die, there was nothing to worry about because you're dead. That's right, and that's the philosophy of Michael Fazio on August 27th, I believe, Sunday, the day the storm was supposed to hit, saying, fuck you to you Zionist, the Zeus scumbag, media mogul, cum shot, scum shot, motherfucking lowlife, lying motherfuckers. That's what I have to say about that. And this is Michael Fazio from Largo telling you, look, this is the aftermath of the rain. It's a beautiful out. And a matter of fact, it's 84 degrees. And it's a drizzle. This is the kind of weather that the God sends us so that you're kind of working and not to get too hot. That's right. I think I take a little swim too later, but not to now. Okay, I go downstairs and I trim the tree that you see in the background. A little bit. Have a nice day. And fuck you, Zionists, the Zeus scumbags. You fucking destroyed the vacation industry in the whole of South Florida for 2 weeks in the biggest part of the tourist season in the world. Down here, besides Christmas. Fuck you, Zionists. Anything that has to do with Zionists and hurricanes. Zionist Zoo, Hurricane Isaac. Huh? What do you think? What do you know? Hurricane Isaac, the big monster in the sky. Wasn't Isaac supposed to be some kind of biblical hero or something like that? Who the fuck cares? All I know is that if it has to do with Zionist, newscasting, media moguls, you can never trust anything that these motherfuckers ever say. That's right. That's right.